They drink cow's blood.
Our flight has been cancelled.
It's not safe. We're both absolutely starving.
Oh my god, this just keeps getting worse. Holy shit!
Because we said that we're budget backpackers.
No seat. Last day in Zanzibar Island in Tanzania. We are headed now to mainland.
We are, and we're in a bit of a rush because we've left ourselves with less than an hour to get to the airport.
Jumbo, you need to see our boarding passes?
Check-in open.
This is kind of cool. Look at the scale. It's not even digital. I love it. The terminal is quite small, only 4 counters. Something makes me think that we're gonna be the only passengers. Here you can see all the domestic airlines: Flight Link, Auric Air, which is the one we're gonna be flying with, Precision Air, Air Tanzania. I don't know exactly what happened because while I was doing some filming, Taz was dealing with the check-in, but apparently our flight has been cancelled.
I don't know what the reason is for the cancellation, but they've just basically moved us to the earlier flight with a different airline. So we've got someone taking us to where we will actually board our flight.
And one thing that I read that is quite common for flights to be cancelled here. So we're following this gentleman and we're gonna go to a different terminal. Excuse me, sir. We're gonna be flying with what airline?
Flight Link.
Flight Link?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing you are right. I'm thinking maybe there wasn't enough people for the flight. Instead of having 2 flights within half an hour, you just bung everyone on the same flight instead.
This terminal seems to be a little bit bigger, and yeah, it looks like this is gonna be our airline. Look at the logo, love it, like a zebra. We have our boarding passes. We're definitely flying with Flight Link. Very unexpected change of plans, but it's a good thing we're flying half an hour earlier and we're passing through another security check. This was our original flight. We have no seat. New flight, and it says seat any. You just get to choose where you want to sit. That's something new to me.
I wonder if this is the bus coming for us. It looks like it is. Let's go.
I'm a little bit disappointed because I wanted to take one of these really small planes, but it looks like we're gonna be flying in this bigger one. And something we're gonna try to get is window seats, because I think we're gonna be flying very close to Kilimanjaro mountain, and that is something I don't wanna miss.
Sit anywhere.
Where is the best side to see Kilimanjaro?
This side, eh?
This side?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we're gonna sit on the right-hand side of the plane so we can see Kilimanjaro. The upper compartments are quite small. You can fit here a small bag, and then your backpack should be under your seat in front.
Although they do need to go under the seats, they do seem to have a lot more space under these seats than you would in a typical Ryanair flight. The plane looks really old-fashioned and old. I don't know whether this is normal in just Africa or other parts of the world, but this is the first time that we're flying on an airline where you have no assigned seats. As soon as you get on the flight, the lady says, sit wherever you like. We've never flown on anything like that before, have we? And it's quite a small aircraft. There's only 24 seats in total here as well.
It's pretty damn hot also.
On behalf of Flight Link, Captain Swale and his crew, we would like to welcome you aboard our Dash 8 300 series. Now leaving for Arusha International Airport. Our flying time to Arusha will be 1 hour. We would like to apologize for the hot temperatures you are experiencing. Once you take off, the cabin will be cooled down.
We're gonna be landing pretty soon, but just now we are flying right next to Mount Kilimanjaro.
And one day we will be climbing that mountain.
Game on, baby! Welcome to Arusha, one of Tanzania's largest cities. We are right now 1,400 meters above sea level. Over there you can see Mount Meru, one of Tanzania's tallest mountains.
I can't stop looking at the mountain.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, I know, it's amazing.
I have no information about this airport, but the infrastructure looks certainly newer than the airport in Zanzibar. This is what the terminal looks like. These people are waiting for their luggage.
We've left the airport. It's about 12 kilometers till we get to our accommodation. We managed to flag down a taxi who's doing us a massive favor and offering us basically a lift to our accommodation for a bit of a reduced price, because we said that we're budget backpackers who can't really afford to pay for taxi, so we thought that was a really kind gesture to do. Yeah, I think we're arriving because I can see the big blue elephant.
Asante sana kaka.
Asante, karibu.
Hi, how are you? Mirko, yes. Room tour. We have a double bed, lots of socket plugs, no mosquito nets. We think this is actually the coolest place where we have stayed so far. There is a pretty nice chill area here. I kinda dig it. This place is really cool. Breakfast, by the way, is included. All of our stuffs are in the room and we're gonna go for a nice walk. Though the sunset is gonna happen probably at around 6:30, meaning that we only have 1 hour. So far, things that we're noticing about Arusha in comparison to Zanzibar. First impression.
Very hilly. You can see the mountains all around you as well, which is obviously completely different to Zanzibar.
It is also a very large city population, 600,000 inhabitants. And then if you count the whole metropolitan area, 1 million people. I feel also like it's a very organized city, very clean.
It's definitely not dusty, but bear in mind, our impression so far is just a taxi ride from the airport to our accommodation. It's definitely cooler here than on Zanzibar as well. I think they said when we arrived it was around 22 degrees.
Okay, I'm impressed. I would say this is probably the tallest building we have seen in all of Tanzania since we arrived. Arusha is proving to be also a very green city. We have been seeing grass all over the place. I want to see how good you are in facts.
Oh no.
I have a few facts about Arusha city. I want to see if you can keep up with me.
Okay, he loves his facts and I always struggle to remember different facts after he's told me them.
All right, I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
Arusha is Tanzania's third largest city.
Well, Arusha is the safari capital of Tanzania because a lot of the national parks situate around it. So you've got Serengeti, Tarangire and Arusha National Park.
Which is one of the few places in Africa that you can do a walking safari without the need of being on a jeep. The soil in Arusha region is very fertile, one of the most fertile in the whole country, and a lot of flowers are grown here and exported then to Europe. And it has also a lot of coffee plantations.
Because we're so high up, apparently the sky night is amazing here. Sometimes you can see the Milky Way with the naked eye.
And I'm running out of facts. Holy shit, I didn't see them.
Yes, I'm paying attention to the road while Mirko is just walking around, so I'm saving lives here.
The reason why we chose this accommodation, or better said, the reason why I chose it, because I did most of the bookings, accommodations in city center were way more expensive. Not too much, but more expensive. But also tomorrow is going to be our only day that we'll be spending it in the city, besides a few hours that we have today. And I figured that it would be much of a longer walk from city center to the area that we want to spend some time tomorrow early in the morning, which is the waterfalls. There is plenty of waterfalls around in this area, and they're closer to the accommodation where we're spending the night.
He says closer. They are closer, but it's still an hour and a half walk. So when we were telling our taxi driver earlier that we're going to go to these waterfalls and we wanted to stay near them, he went, yeah, near.
Since the very moment that we landed in the airport, we started seeing lots of jeeps picking up people, leaving people at the airport, because as Tas well said, this is known as the safari capital.
We've seen a lot of people on our flight who you could tell were tourists getting ready for their safari ride, and we know a lot of people who fly over from Zanzibar specifically to do a couple of days safari and then fly back to enjoy the rest of their holiday on the island.
Most locals at this time already are walking with a jacket or with a hoodie. I still don't feel like I need to wear mine. Perfect temperature right now, not hot, not cold.
We're also finding that a lot of people are looking at us and smiling while they're covered in their jackets and very clearly thinking it's cold. And then we're here in strapless tops and t-shirts. They're like, are you insane? It's freezing.
And here is the world famous, well, I don't know if world famous, just famous clock tower, of which I don't know anything. Do you?
I know a little bit. So it's one of the most photographed places in the entire of Arusha, probably because it's such a big crossroad with so many turnings coming off of it that it just means that it's a central point in the area for locals and tourists.
Who built it?
I have no idea. No one seems to know, but they think it might have been done by German colonial administrators in the early 1900s.
Is the time right? I don't feel like it is. It's not 8:30.
It's 6:35, so no, it's not right.
The sun is gone and it's 6:40.
It's starting to get, so let's go and eat.
Yeah, go and eat. It's getting dark. There is not much else that we can do in the city but having some food. I'm starving, and we found a gluten-free and vegan place just around the corner. Oh no, unfortunately the restaurant we were looking for is open only 9 a.m. to 4 in the afternoon.
Temperature has definitely dropped because we're both in our hoodies now.
And I just checked and it's gonna get colder in the middle of the night. It's gonna drop to 13, 14 Celsius degrees.
So that's the entire reason why we thought we'd bring a hoodie, just as preparation, just in case, because we knew the island would be quite warm, but we also knew that on the safari it's very likely to get quite cold.
We had our food. We are making our way back to the accommodation.
Yeah, we are thinking of taking a tuk-tuk because it's like a 40-minute walk back there. But when we were leaving the restaurant, the guy asked us how we're getting back and we said we were walking, and his face kind of dropped and he was like, oh no, you don't want to do that. And we were like, why? We like to walk, we don't mind. He said, not at night, not here, it's not safe. And suddenly walked out of there and we're like, yeah, let's just walk, you know, it's a nice night. Turned the corner and suddenly everything started feeling a little bit more spooky and creepy. And people have been approaching us. And it's probably just normal the way they would have approached us anyway, but because this guy has told us it's not safe, suddenly we're like, everything feels really creepy here. So we don't know whether we're in a bit of a dodgy area. But yeah, we think we might consider getting a tuk-tuk. We found ourselves a tuk-tuk. Asante.
5,000, which is less than $2. I think it's worth it not to be walking in the darkness.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes time is more precious than money. We're back at the accommodation now, but we forgot to get water in the shop before we arrived. And we noticed at the front desk that they're selling loads of water. So I asked the lady, how much is a bottle of water? And this bottle here is 2,000 shillings. So I asked Miyako for the money and he handed it over to me. And I realized at that point that that was the first time that I've actually handled any money on this trip, because he handles all of the money. I feel a little bit like a spoiled princess at this point, but just to make it clear, it is both of our money. He's not paying for everything. He's just the one that handles it all because he's the man.
Good morning. We woke up today early, 5:30 in the morning, waiting for breakfast at 6 a.m. Breakfast never happened. We waited a little bit longer and still no breakfast as promised. We opened the fridge hoping to find something ready for us, and all the fruit was looking kind of rotten, full of ants. So I guess we'll have to start the walk of the day with no food in our stomachs.
We've been walking for about 15 minutes. We're both absolutely starving. So we've noticed that there's a shop that looks like it's about to open.
I got peanuts.
What? You got peanuts?
Yeah, 1,000 shillings for 2 bags, 25 cents of a dollar.
Right, it looks like we're going right here.
Apparently the first part of the walk is not so exciting. Reason why: a lot of people not only hire a guide, but they hire a 4x4 that will drive them all the way up till the entrance, and they only get to walk the last 30 minutes.
We can already see that it's starting to go uphill pretty steeply.
Come on, baby, this is nothing. Look around you. This is full of local houses. People live here, and they probably have to make this road every single day to come here, live, go to work, and come back again.
Yes, and if you do that every single day and you have the stamina, then you build up a tolerance to it. If you haven't done it in a while and you've literally been living on an island that is super flat for the last 10 days, it makes it a lot harder. What do you think the temperature is right now? I'm asking you because I know the temperature, yes. I don't know whether you can see it actually.
I think it's 16 degrees.
You are very wrong. It is 11 degrees.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it looks like we've arrived at the entrance to the waterfall, which is what we originally thought was going to be the waterfall.
We've made it to the entry point. This is also like a ranger's house. We were asked if we were going to visit the Napuru Waterfall, to which we said yes. And it turns out that we have to pay a permit to go inside, 40,000 Tanzanian shillings, which is about 15 American dollars per person. And on top of that, we have to go with a tour guide. What's your name?
Alba.
Nice to meet you, bro. Can you repeat what's the reason why we need to go with a guide and we cannot go by ourselves?
We don't have sign on the way. Back in the days ago, we allowed people to go there without a guide. Then we get many complaints from the military base camp. The people miss the way, then they get to the military, they get trouble, then fine, they pay fine of them to the military base camp, which is not good for you because you are coming here to enjoy.
So we have 1 hour to make it to a waterfall?
It depends on your time. You have many activities. We have waterfalls. It depends how fit you are. And we have hiking. At the hiking, you can see the landscape, the view of Mount Meru, and the view of Arusha city. Then we are not come back at the same way. We do cycle.
Right past the entrance is an eco camp where you can set up tents. They do lots of different activities here. They've got archery, quad biking, paintballing, shooting. We have just taken a tiny rode off of the main entrance and we're now going deeper into the forest.
He just said we shouldn't touch this plant because it's gonna give you like an allergic reaction.
Is it like a stingy nettle, is it?
Pretty much that.
Okay.
The local people, they use as a bush toilet paper.
That really tall tree there is an African mahogany tree. They live about 1,500 years and that one's about 400 years old right now. Mahogany is a really expensive wood and it's got really deep roots.
This is called green batolia. It smells like a lemon, but not lemon. It's very strong smell.
It smells really fresh.
The root from these leaves, the local people, I mean the Maasai people, they use as a medicine. They boil it as a black tea, but it's very bitter. And also the leaves, the people they use as a sentinel against mosquito.
After looking at this African mahogany and how beautiful this tree is, I feel kind of bad because my parents' house, all of the furnitures we had were made of that wood. And thinking about just chopping down that tree, it just feels heartbreaking. He's gonna show us now a tree that is used as a soap. That one, oh amazing. We made it to a river and we're gonna try these leaves and we're gonna wash our hands with this water.
This is the bush soap. They call it sabuni.
So we have a bunch of leaves here, I would say probably 15 or 20. The water is kind of chilly. I can imagine later when we have to cross the river with sandals.
Then we grab heavy. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's kind of soapy actually. Look.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is fucking amazing. Insane.
You see?
Yeah. Look at this. I'm loving this.
You try too.
Okay.
I know it's cold, but hang in there.
Hey, it's nothing to do with that. I was showing you.
Up.
Yeah.
Okay, you grab heavy. 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 Heavy.
I think I'm doing it heavy.
Heavy.
Oh yeah, you can see the
how
soap.
soapy his hand is in comparison to yours.
I know. He's a pro, that's why. He does this all the time.
It's clean water, which is people using for drink and cooking and washing some stuff. But the problem of the water, they have too much fluoride. And the fluoride, as the people living in Arusha and Kilimanjaro region, they get affected by this water for changing color from the teeth to be yellow, like mine. But the people, the eldest people say they changing color, but they make the teeth to be strong. Also now the people, they taking the water, treat the water, then to give the kids for drinking. So now they don't have a yellow color, now they have a white from the teeth. But for us, at the time we grow up, there is no any education. That's why we get those affected by the fluoride.
Time to take our shoes off. We're gonna wear our sandals.
I think it'll be quite refreshing on our feet though.
I hate to admit this, but we wanted to do this without a guide, and I think that by now we would be 100% lost.
We would definitely be lost.
And we're also learning a lot. Freezing cold, here we go. By the looks of it, we're gonna be alternating between water trail. And the water, it feels cold, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. But it's not like, oh, my feet are trembling.
I thought it was really refreshing. My feet felt quite warm, so I really enjoyed walking through the river.
I'm changing my mind. If you cross quickly, it's okay. If you stay in the water taking a picture or something, after 30 seconds, my toes start feeling numb. The current here is stronger. I feel like it was pulling me. Do you still feel the same way about the water temperature?
Yes, I still think it feels lovely on my feet.
Oh my god, this is unbelievable. I didn't imagine it was going to be so beautiful.
I know, this is really cool, isn't it? We are literally gorge walking and very grateful that we did bring our sandals because there is no way our feet would have kept dry through the entire of this river. And even if we attempted to, there's some rocks, but they're so loose. I tried to stand on a couple of rocks and I almost fell into the water completely.
First ladder.
This is amazing. Look at that. I've got to try and get up this now, and we all know that I am the clumsiest person ever.
Oh my god, this is fucking amazing. Woohoo! Ladies and gentlemen, Napuru Waterfall, which in Maasai means mist waterfall, and it falls down so strongly. I'm probably 10 meters away and I'm already getting wet. It's 77 meters tall and it's the tallest waterfall in all of Arusha and Kilimanjaro area. Not the tallest in Tanzania though. I'm getting freaking wet!
Both Mirko and I have stood right by there a moment ago and I am absolutely soaking from the mist that comes off of it. Can you see the force of the water coming away from the fall? Like it's literally just like...
Why are you so wet?
Because I was basically under the waterfall.
I was too and I'm not so wet.
That was so much fun. I absolutely love waterfalls. I could have spent the entire day there, but we're going to go on a hike now around the rest of the Arusha Valley to see some of the communities and then we're going to end in the city, I think. Oh, they taste so good. We're going back down the ladder. Woo! On this hike there are two waterfalls. You've got Napuru and then you've got Meru. It's a little bit smaller and it's the first one that we came across on the hike. Nature has such an amazing way of showing us the beauty that this world has to offer. And the water from this waterfall is directly from Mount Meru, which is the second biggest mountain aside from Kilimanjaro. This is the end of the river walk, so we're going to put our shoes back on now and take our sandals off.
Just made it to the main road. We started down there, then we took this detour. If you keep going all the way up, that's gonna take you to the top of Mount Meru. Hard work. This is heavy.
But yeah, getting to see the plantations and seeing all the crops. Our guide told us that this is a damp, moist forest. It heavily relies on the rain to water the crops, and then the workers will spray it daily with pesticides to prevent and keep them in their best conditions.
It turns out we're gonna be making a huge loop walking all over this hill. Our guide Alba was telling us that all Maasai people get circumcised when they are 18 years old, and it's a very painful procedure, as painful that he said that there's no quantity of money in this world that can be paid to him for him to have it done again. No anesthesia, no painkillers.
It's done by a local person in the Maasai community, and all men go through it at the age of 18 to show that they are a warrior. They have a ceremony at the end of it to celebrate, where people all come together and the person who has been circumcised drinks a drink of cow's blood that's mixed with, I believe he said, water. We've just clarified they drink cow's blood mixed with cow's fat. We asked him what it tastes like. He said it doesn't taste very nice, but it's part of the ceremony. You have to go through that process. You do have to drink it. There are men around with sticks, and if you don't, they'll hit you until you do drink it. You have to go through that. You do have to drink it. He did mention that, we asked him, is it similar for women? And in some areas, particularly deeper in the bush, it does still happen, but the police are trying to deter against that because of female genital mutilation. But I guess if it's part of their customs that they've done for so many years, it's about changing those views and educating about the impacts that that can actually have. Oh, look at this. Ah!
Jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa hapa Tanzania. Hakuna matata.
Yay!
We've been hiking for a few hours through the fields now. I don't think we actually appreciated how long this was going to take. I think we just thought we were going to go to the waterfalls and back. Suddenly we're walking through the entire of the valley back down to the city. We have one little bottle of water between the two of us, and we haven't had breakfast because there was no breakfast this morning. We now have followers too. We're walking through this little community now, and the kids keep singing Mlete Mzungu, and our guide just told us that means bring the white people.
This is insane. He was telling us that this is the local school we just passed. Some kids come here from Arusha or even farther, and to make it to school they have to walk 2 hours. School starts at 7 a.m. If they arrive at 8, they get hit by the teachers with a stick for being late. What do you do with sambule?
Sambule we use for headache pain.
After almost 5 hours of walk, we made it to this amazing viewpoint. Arusha has lots of hills, like way more many than I imagined. And we're gonna go back down to the clock tower, which is close to that building with the green roof. We still have probably another 40 minutes or 30 minutes to go.
We just want to take a moment to thank you for following along our journey. A little like or subscribe really means a lot to us. We take content creation very seriously, although sometimes it might not seem like, but we do really enjoy capturing the moments. And because we're in a long distance relationship, we would love nothing more than to make this our full-time thing so that we can spend more time together, travel the world and show more of the beautiful things that it has to offer.
We are back to Arusha and this is story time. And we're gonna start with the things that our guide told you that I didn't hear because I was distracted thinking about something else.
So yeah, he was telling me that he's got a wife and 2 kids. So I just wanted to find out a little bit more about how they met, if they have like wedding ceremonies here and whatever. And he said they did have a wedding and he chose his wife and he paid his wife's father 4 cows and 2 goats for her. And I asked, like, was that like the going rate that you pay? Don't laugh at me. I was asking, was that like the going rate the Maasai pay towards that? Because I know in some cultures you do pay to the female's family. And he said, no, there's no going rate. It just depends on how much you think or how much they want for their daughter. For some very beautiful women, you might be paying up to 10 cows. And then he realised what he said and was like, Mom, my wife is beautiful, but not 10 cows. Which is really funny.
How many cows do you think your dad will want for you?
I think my dad would probably just give me away for free.
After all the walking we did this morning, I was thinking that I was so fucked that I didn't want to do anything for the rest of the day. But I feel like the only thing we needed was to sit down for a moment and chill.
And eat.
And eat, definitely eat.
Yeah.
Because during the 7 hours that we were walking in the mountain, we only sat down for like 3 minutes to change our shoes. That was it. We still have a couple more of hours before it gets dark.
I think we've got our energy back now as well.
Yeah, look at you all jumpy and everything. Made it to some kind of market.
It's the Maasai market of curious and crafts.
So people are gonna try to sell us all kinds of things. I don't feel like we're gonna buy anything, but worth a look.
Hello,
Jumbo.
how are you?
It's kind of cool. It looks like a souk. Jumbo. Asante.
Hello, what's up?
Hello.
How are you? Chipa, chipa,
This is actually so uncomfortable. All the sellers are lined up on both sides. And it's like they don't even give you a second to think about it. It's like jumbo after jumbo after jumbo. Karibu,
Welcome to my
karibu.
shop. Come and look, come and look.
Jeez, it's like, chill out, just give me a moment, let me appreciate it.
Sante. Yeah, it was very intense in there. Sister, come take a look, come take a look. Asante, asante. And just eyes on you the entire time.
They have pretty cool stuff,
Yeah,
but
they
I feel
were-
like I don't enjoy it when it's like this. On a given day, how many times in average would you say that we hear the words Jambo, Mambo, Pole Pole, and Hakuna Matata?
Jambo is definitely the most popular. We probably hear that at least 500 times a day.
Mambo.
Sometimes after we've said Jambo, people will say Mambo.
Then Hakuna Matata, oh my god.
On Zanzibar Island, you will hear that at least 1,000 times a day minimum.
We have no idea what this building is, but it looks so beautiful. Made it to Arusha Central Market. Let's see what this is about. Looks quite busy. Jeez, look at these colors. So beautiful. There's so many fruits and
It
veggies.
smells so nice. It smells really fresh.
Jambo.
Ninatubu kwa ajili ya anga la soko kuu. Mwana wa raso ni kwa ni mwamba. Yes, ni mwamba.
I think he's saying something religion related.
What's really interesting is that all the oil that they use, they fill it in the bottles of water that are obviously being recycled.
I don't think I'll buy this oil if it
But
was
we're
coming.
not going to be buying it, are we? But if you've got a bottle and you're going to repurchase it, this is a great way to do that.
Okay. Oh wow, this construction doesn't look like really safe. We are just by the bus station because tomorrow we're going on a safari, but 4 days later we'll have to take one of these bad boys going to another city called Mwanza, which apparently is 12 to 13 hours away. That's gonna be fun.
Pray for us.
There's hundreds of bus stands, and we asked somebody and we were told to follow him, apparently somewhere here. It's a little bit chaotic in the station, lots of companies trying to offer us their services, and at the end we didn't want to go with the first company. After a long research on the internet, we think we found what is the best company, and the price difference is like $1.50. So we're gonna go for it, trying to book it online.
Yeah, and it allows us to do it by card as well.
We are headed now to the office of the company, where apparently we can buy our tickets. Oh my god, it's just so difficult to try to have a conversation with the camera when there's people talking to you.
Even when we're trying to have a conversation together and discuss something, people are like, can I help you, which is nice. But at the same time, it's frustrating when we're trying to help ourselves.
Just leave me alone for a second.
He literally had a guy grabbing him, going, let me help you, where do you need to go, what do you need to do? And he was like, it's okay, she's taking me.
Barabarani kama unahitaji ile sera nzuri kabisa, ile ya kuifanya ngozi yako kuwa nyororo ya kumvutia bibi wako.
I have no idea where we are, but this is definitely looking like the busiest part of the city.
Yeah, there's like traffic jams, beeping, chaotic motorbikes swinging in front of you.
It seems like it's gonna be somewhere here, and this is the company we're looking forward to travel with. So at this point I'm wondering, can we get any closer just to see more or less what it looks like? Okay, this is apparently what the bus looks like, and they call this luxury. I'm not very sure that that's a very luxurious bus, but...
Well, I dread to think what non-luxury would be then.
Whew. Busy. Oh my god, this just keeps getting worse. We came all the way here, they don't take card.
We asked outside and she said they do take card, but they say they take this M-Pesa. But when I scan it, it just comes up as a text message with loads of random letters.
And we just spent the last dollars we have left, so we have almost no cash, and I guess we'll have to find an ATM.
Yeah, but she also said when we gave it to her, she was like, more. We were like, no, that's the money. She was like, no more.
And then she pointed at my bum bag, and I was like, no, this is all I have. And then she pointed at hers, she was like...
Just making jokes.
We're just
making jokes? Well, everybody is asking us for money here.
She was not serious.
Going that way, we're trying to find now an exchange office, because after we paid to the woman in dollars, she came back to us and she said, no dollars, we don't take dollars.
Interestingly, she did say, no, you need to pay me more, and we showed her the exchange and said, no, we're already paying you more. Then she went away and said, no, you can't pay, you have to pay in Tanzanian shillings now. So I do wonder if we'd have paid her more, whether she would have accepted it.
And there we were this morning, naively thinking that we were going to have plenty of time after going to a waterfall to relax and have a very chill day before going on a safari. And here we are, it's almost 7 p.m, still with no tickets to Mwanza, and the bus office is gonna close in 5 minutes. We couldn't find any place where to exchange money. Luckily, we were about to meet with the CEO of the company that is gonna be taking us on the safari, and he was on his way here to meet us. And he said, rush to the office, I'll help you. 10, 20, 30, 50. We need 130,000 to pay for that.
That's so funny, because as soon as Miyako stopped talking, all you heard was a guy behind him go, Miyako! Now let's be fair, there's not many Miyakos hanging around here. We turned around and it was the guy we were literally talking about. He stood behind me now. He was like, yeah, you can see you guys a mile off, because for obvious reasons.
So that's Eric, he's helping us out to exchange the money, and now hopefully we'll be able to pay for the tickets finally. Nice to meet you, Eric. Thank you for helping us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, Eric came to save the day. We managed to get our bus tickets for tomorrow, and he took us to a really lovely restaurant. We had some food, and we're now back at the accommodation. We are absolutely exhausted. I've had a shower, Miyako's having his shower, and we've got to be up early again tomorrow because we're going on a safari. I cannot wait. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow along for more of our adventures. See you next time.